Afternoon, folks. Good afternoon, afternoon. Welcome, congratulations to the post-lunch session. Good to see you. Hope you've fed the soul. Now we're going to try and feed the mind. My name is Marco. I'm Director General at the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade. We are an independent, not-for-profit organization founded in 1935 with the express objective of enhancing, professionalize the UK's export capability. Now, in the 89 intervening years, that mission has somewhat morphed. We are still committed to professionalization, enhancing and growing, but it's now global, international, cross-border trade. And we do that because all the research shows and evidence proves that businesses which trade cross-borders are more sustainable, more resilient, employ more people, are more innovative, and are more profitable. If we are to address the most significant challenges that we face, that the UK faces, that internationally we face, the only way we will do that, the only possible way that we overcome those challenges is through more global trade by taking down barriers and not by building them up. There's a slide here that gives a little bit more about the work that the Institute does, about our membership and the profile that we have. There are things that we deliver: practical services, qualifications, training, capacity building. We provide policy advice, regulatory information, helping nations, international organizations, and businesses take and exploit the many opportunities that global international trade offers. And there has never been a more cogent, a more coherent time for the work that the Institute does than today. It's clear that the traditional rules and regulations of global trade are facing incredible duress. You've got the tectonic forces of geopolitics. We're facing societal, economic, and environmental change and pressures. And in that context, it's clear that we need to move to a new system of global international trade, one founded on the principles of openness, integrity, and partnership. And that move to trusted trade can only be delivered, will only be delivered, if we embrace the huge potential of global international trade. Now, it's a huge delight that last year the UK introduced the eCommerce Digital Trade Documents Act. This is a huge step forward and positions the UK at the very forefront of the transition that is taking place and that move that we're encouraging towards trusted trade. And one of the key aspects, the key vectors to deliver the benefits of coherent, of trusted international trade is through e-commerce. And so what a brilliant opportunity for us to talk about the challenges that exist in global international trade and the role that e-commerce and those involved in e-commerce and the marketplaces can play in that transition. Remember there's a mission, there's an imperative that we do that, because the benefits of global cross-border trade, you're going to get sick of me saying this, folks, is that businesses which trade cross-borders are more sustainable, more resilient, employ more people, are more innovative, and are more profitable. Those benefits need to be spread to every community and every nation. And as part of my role as Director General at the Chartered Institute, I also chair the eCommerce Trade Commission. And this is an industry-led commission supported by the Department of Business and Trade, looking very specifically at how the e-commerce marketplaces can address the challenges of global international trade, can infuse more businesses to use the e-commerce platforms to trade internationally, and that way get many more of the UK's MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises, benefiting from global cross-border trade. We at the Commission undertook a piece of research looking into the challenges, the specific challenges that are faced by MSMEs in taking part in cross-border trade. And the top three are financing, tariffs, quantitative restrictions, demand. There is a fourth element which is even more important, something I will come to in a moment, which is actually gender exclusion. And we see even at the UK a real challenge for female-led businesses, for female entrepreneurs to be able to get trading cross borders. Now, in the UK, of course, we've got a special set of challenges brought about by the situation where we are trying to redefine the UK's relationship in the world and our trading relationships in the world, brought about, of course, by Brexit. And the report issued yesterday by Aston University showed that the number of UK businesses trading with the EU particularly has declined and continues to decline. And this is a trend that goes back many years. So we have got to actively now look at to what can be done to actively engage business leaders to restart and recommence that trade. And some of the issues, particularly around financing and the duties and tariff system, can be solved through e-commerce, and particularly through digitalization of global trade. The Chartered Institute ran a pilot project on behalf of government last year using a trusted trader digital trade corridor linking Kenya to the United Kingdom. And we moved tea, coffee, and cut flowers, so SPS goods, sanitary and phytosanitary required goods, goods that require additional rules, regulations, additional customs processes and procedures. The Cabinet Office report showed that because of that trusted trader digital trade corridor, we increased the speed of the transit of tea and coffee in particular from Kenya to the UK by 40%. We increased profitability by 30%. That profit flowed back directly to the growers in Kenya. So there we need now to ensure that we have a regulatory environment that encourages businesses to digitalize. We need to handhold UK MSMEs, particularly those micro businesses, to embed digitalization of trade into their systems and processes. We need to encourage those businesses to use and deploy the many benefits and tools that the e-commerce marketplaces have to get them going to trading across borders. And the benefits aren't just for a demand in the EU, great though that is. It's also global. The WTO report with regards to the global economy showed very clearly that we are in, at best, anemic growth over the next few years. But the vast majority of that growth is spurred not by the West or the traditional developed market, but by global South. Research shows that the increase in the value of e-commerce alone in Africa over the next 3 years is going to go up by £15 billion. That the number of consumers in Africa buying using e-commerce is going to reach 50%, which is up from 13% just 4 years ago. So when we're looking at where there is opportunity, we have to ensure that we are providing businesses with the tools, the knowledge, the skills, the encouragement to look beyond those traditional markets. And as a UK-based business, there is particular opportunity because not just across Africa, but across the high-growth areas of Southeast Asia and indeed Central and South America, Brand UK has cachet. There is tremendous demand for UK products and services. So the challenge is how do we get more businesses understanding how they can exploit those opportunities? And we're working with the new government and with the regulators to see how we can amend not just our systems, but the interconnectivity between UK border systems and international systems to unleash that full growth potential for the economy through global cross-border trade. As part of the research through the e-commerce Trade Commission, highlighting specifically the barriers that female entrepreneurs, women-led businesses face, this was a really telling comment. It's a challenge to deal with the existing systems of trading into the EU, the import one-stop shop, the import VAT systems and processes, demands and requirements. mean that too many businesses currently perceive that it's too difficult to trade into the EU. The counterbalance to that is that within the EU, businesses now perceive that trading with the UK is too difficult and too challenging. Most of that challenge can be addressed through the digitalization of trade processes and the work that the e-commerce platforms and the marketplaces undertake. There are a plethora of tools and insights available, but unfortunately, there is a lack of skills, a lack of knowledge, and a lack of understanding in business as to how they can deploy those tools, which is why events like this today, which brings together many of the service providers and the platforms and the marketplaces who can showcase the tools, the capacity they have to support businesses. And if there's a clarion call I have for everyone here today who's attending the event, it's to be the evangelists for the potential of e-commerce and global trade. That we spare no effort in taking forward the knowledge and expertise is required here to promote the potential for international trade. We work closely with a small business. Now, I have to say, I am not the ideal demographic for this business. They're based in King's Lynn, and they produce gentlemen's hair products and grooming products. However, from that small office in King's Lynn, the product that they manufacture, various hair unctions and the like, I'm sure that's not a technical term, but the products they produce are exported to over 50 countries, and they do so incredibly profitably. It's a small business based in King's Lynn that has a global marketplace, and the reason they're able to grow and scale and exploit those marketplaces is because of their use of the digital marketplaces, digital trading systems, and understanding that there are complexities, but they are easily dealt with when you understand them. So the challenge that this comment highlighted was that their personal experience has then impacted their behavior in business. And we need to establish the mechanism to ensure that businesses understand that all of this is possible, feasible, and there is demand. When we are looking to build the future for trusted trade, we have to do so in partnership and collaboration. The difficulties and complexities of international trade can and will only be addressed with business, government, regulators, and the e-commerce platforms, marketplaces working together. Because those tectonic forces I mentioned at the beginning are playing out in real time. And at a point when the WTO itself is slightly dysfunctional, I'm delighted to see that the UK, amongst 90 other nations, have signed up to a new iteration of the e-commerce agreement. It's clear that too often the trading environment is being used for partisan benefit, that we are seeing nations deploying, leveraging their power of their market to disrupt the global trading environment, which is why we are encouraging a move towards trusted trading environment. The marketplaces can be key to addressing these issues. And so the work of the E-commerce Trade Commission is central to helping redefine the way in which trade takes place, and also to provide a simple system, a simple process by which businesses, wherever they may be, can participate in healthy, compliant cross-border trade. And it's not just the huge tech companies that have a role to play. There are many smaller niche platforms that are emerging that provide a key route into the marketplaces. They provide research, they provide insight, and they provide tools to enable that healthy compliance with the global trading system and the methodologies for growing your marketplace. So as the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade, we stand as evangelists for the benefit of global trade. We provide the knowledge, expertise, and skills to support international trade. But most importantly, we put a call out to every business, every budding entrepreneur to feed into us the challenges that have been faced in your business with regards to international trade, the challenges that you face with regards to e-commerce specifically, so that we can work with government to address the barriers and particularly the gender-based barriers and the customs-based barriers to trade. Because without that, we are not going to drive growth into the economy. We are not going to make the societal and economic change, which is so important to global trade. Now, I'm keen to actually use this session to hear if anyone here has any particular experiences with regards to the challenges that you have faced in international trade, that if there are particular regulatory difficulties, whether there are customs processes, whether the supply chain isn't working for you, so that we can take those forward and be an arbiter, not just into government, but also internationally. We're working with the EU Commission on the reforms that they are implementing in global trade, as well as at the WTO supporting initiatives like the She Trades and their MSME, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise campaign. Folks, the potential for UK products and services is global. The next generation of business leaders need to see international trade, cross-border trade, just as a fundamental part of doing business. But before we reach those sunlit uplands, it's really important that we get more businesses today exploiting and benefiting from global cross-border trade. So folks, as I say, as chair of the eCommerce Trade Commission, as Director General of the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade, it is our mission. It is our mission to help business build a legacy of trust and to grow global international trade. And we are open and very keen to hear from everybody, wherever you are in the life cycle of a business or the supply chain, about what can be done to get more businesses benefiting from those global opportunities. And particularly in the Global South, which is driving world growth over the next 5 years. So I don't know if anyone's got any questions, points, or opinions they'd like to raise. If not, you can contact us at export.org.uk, because the benefits, as I've said, of more UK businesses trading internationally is huge. There are 70,000 UK businesses. The Social Market Foundation research issued last year identified 70,000 UK MSMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises, that had products and were export ready, but weren't trading cross borders. If we could get those 70,000 UK MSMEs trading cross borders, the benefit to the UK economy is over £9 billion. So there is an imperative that we provide the help and support, that the government listens to the concerns of business, and that as a Chartered Institute, we play our role to provide the tools and the services to help get Britain trading globally. Folks, thank you. I say, if anyone's got any comments or questions, if you contact us, export.org.uk. But thank you very much for listening. Thank you.